other suggestion that I have is that apart from this contamination of water, which is again a very important aspect, there are also visible aspects of pollution. For example, I remember last year in the month of June, when the World Environment Day is celebrated on 5th June, we conducted a 1-month-long campaign in all our industrial parks throughout the state in promoting environment-friendly measures like tree plantation, removal of solid waste, cleaning up of all these blocked drains, etc. And at the end of this 1-month-long campaign, we found out that almost 8,000 tons of solid waste was cleared from our industrial parks where this campaign was taken up, which implies that for all these years, this kind of solid waste and industrial waste, it was just accumulating in the industrial park. There was no method of proper disposal of these kind of industrial waste, which again is a matter of concern. Today, people are more concerned about visible signs of pollution. In fact, as all of you will be aware, APIIC is involved in setting up new industrial parks in the state, and we face tremendous difficulties because nowhere do we find favorable public opinion towards locating an industrial park next to a habitation. In fact, there have been cases when people have protested so violently that even some kind of police firing or some kind of control measures have to be taken to stop that agitation. And everyone knows that industries can create jobs, industries can provide growth to the economy. But despite that, because of these visible signs of pollution, there is so much of uproar, so much of resistance to industries coming in a neighborhood. So at least for all these visible things, like keeping the premises of an industry clean, not throwing any solid waste in the neighborhood, having a proper disposal procedure, not getting the drains, etc. blocked, all these things also will go a long way in bringing the people and the industries close to each other. So let us also work on these visible aspects of pollution and take a very, very concrete and very comprehensive action. Again, from this year, June 5th, when the World Environment Day will be celebrated, APIIC and its successor organization will be running this campaign in all the industrial parks again. And I would request FAPSI and other member industries also to participate in this kind of campaign. The third very significant suggestion which I have to make is to allow a third-party environmental audit to be conducted in each of the industries. In fact, in last year when we conducted this month-long industrial area environment improvement program, we sensitized the unit industries about the necessity for this environmental audit. We got teams from environmental engineers from the Pollution Control Board, from other NGOs, from universities, etc. And we conducted training programs and sensitization programs in all the industrial parks. And we kind of prepared the groundwork for conducting this environmental audit. Environmental audit is not a very complicated task. It requires some third party to visit your factory, to see the processes, the manufacturing processes, and make note on what kind of pollution you create and what are the methods of mitigating or remediating that pollution. Have you installed pollution control measures, or is the discharge done in a scientific way? Is it discharged in an effluent treatment plant, and so on and so forth. And in the sensitization programs last year, we even offered, because other speakers like Mr. Jasti pointed out, that for SMEs it may be a challenge to adopt or to buy or to procure that technology which takes care of pollution, etc. because it adds enormously to the cost of their production and the entire economics or financials of their production is jeopardized. And the solution is in form of common facilities. So we will be willing to facilitate all that if environmental audits done in a particular location throw out these kind of results, that there are environmental problems contributed by a group of industries who don't have individually the wherewithal to install pollution control instruments, etc., or to find other individual solutions. So wherever such situation arises, we are all for helping them in getting some kind of a common solution adopted. So these three suggestions, having a very strong self-regulation amongst the industries to take care of visible aspects of pollution and to allow a very independent third-party environmental audit to be conducted, again comprehensively. It should not be a matter of choice that I will do it, someone else will not do it. If each and every industry agrees to do it, and we are willing to get it organized in our industrial parks at our cost. But once the findings are made known, then we will agree to implement those findings over a period of time. So once these kind of measures are taken by the industries themselves, I am sure that the gap which other speakers have pointed out between the authorities and the courts on one side and the industries on the other side, I am sure that this kind of gap can be narrowed, and instead of feeling adversarial about each other, it can be a joint action on taking care of environment, improving our environment, because eventually as citizens of this country, as citizens of this planet, we all have a responsibility towards the environment. And just because we are industries, we don't have any special privileges that we can damage the environment. So that is one very fundamental aspect which we should keep in mind. And I'm very sure that this dialogue which has been started today through FAPSI and with the help of JTL, I'm sure this will be continued, and as early as possible we must have a concrete action plan on some of the suggestions which I am making, some other suggestions which others will make, so that eventually we are able to showcase both these states as a model for a balanced industrial growth with environmental protection. I thank FAPSI and JTL once again for inviting me, and I convey my good wishes for the rest of this seminar. Thank you very much.